Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. So it's kind of about time that I actually got off my butt to make a or I guess make make brand new or update some of my standard decks, and I haven't really had much time to do that. So, but I actually did, this week, have an evening off where I was actually able to, improve a couple decks. And one deck I wanted to talk about right now, which I think it's a good deck right now, but it has some issues against some of the top decks in the game right now, mainly Raging Bolt. Right, I think that's a big one. And it's one of the most dominant decks in the field right now. And yeah, I know. I think it's a decent play versus everything else. So, but yeah, I don't really play this. This is just the deck that that I keep in my bag, because I know a lot of people want to test against this, and I don't really, like I said, I don't play it that often, and nor do I have any interest in playing it, right? I don't think this deck is kind of my strong suit. I don't really like the way that it plays, but a lot of people do love the way that it plays, and they love the crazy combos that you can pull off with it, and it just seems like it's really hard to pilot as well, compared to something straightforward like Raging Bolt, or in this format, you have Miraidon, right, which is pretty straightforward, or Chien Pao, which is pretty straightforward. Other formats, older formats like 2023 Worlds, Mew VMAX, that's really easy to pilot, right? Those decks are kind of the ones that are up my alley. This one's not, but yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And I want to introduce everybody to Charizard, right? One of the most popular decks right now in current standard, and a fan favorite. This is why a lot of players gravitate towards this deck, as for the fan favorite, right? They want to play with their favorite Pokemon. And yeah, this here is updated with Stellar Crown, and it's got a lot of really cool things in here. And yeah, there's just a lot, a lot of interesting combos in here. But yeah, we're starting out with the Charizard line, right? And then we got the Pidgeot line as well. Got the two Pidgeys. Then we got the Dusknoir line. So, now this one's pretty interesting, right? The just trying to get everything kind of focused here in one. But yeah, this is the stage 2. So this is a multiple stage 2 deck. This is one of the few decks ever that has played multiple stage 2s. Like the one that I remember the most is Rocklock from the 2005-2006 season, with basically the same Pidgeot with quick search there. That was from Fire and Leaf Green. It had the Dark Ampharos and the Dark Tyranitar from Team Rocket Returns, and basically it involved every time you'd have a basic in play, it'd take 10 damage, or if you'd evolve, it'd take 20 damage, right? Do the Ampharos type of thing, and then you just devolve them, right? But this is kind of more to the point, where each one of these has a job, right? The Charizard there, its main job is to obviously attack, right? It's the attacking Pokemon of the deck. right? It's got high HP, you know, at 330, which makes it pretty bulky. It's got its own ability, which basically allows it to search out energies from the deck whenever it comes into play, right? With Infernal Rain, up to 3 basic fire, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So that's really good, right? You can set up that other one. The Charmeleon there, right? I like this one, you know, just because it's got the extra damage at 70, right? 90 HP too, right? And then we got the Charmanders here. I don't play the 60 HP one, right? The one that does the 30 damage, right? For 1 fire, right? Just because it's too little HP. But we do have the, you know, 2 of the, I believe it's the Obsidian Flames here, or no, this is the 151 here. Yeah, so 2 of these ones. The Blazing Destruction one, I think it's too good, discarding that Stadium, right? Steady Fire Breathing, 2 for 30. But then I also do play the promo there, right? Where it's got, you know, 2 fire energies for 40 damage instead, right? So it's a little bit more firepower on that basic. Yeah, then we got the Pidgeot there, the Pidgeot line, the quick search on the Pidgeot EX, which is cool, right? Search for any card, right? And then the Blustery Wind, you know, great stadium removal, which is another really good thing with this deck. The Pidgeys, so I've seen, you know, I'm kind of off and on about the Pidgeys here, right? You know, a lot of people like the this one here that I'm playing, the 50 HP one, the Call for Family one, 2 basic Pokemon to your bench. But then a lot of people are putting in the I believe it's the Obsidian Flames one, the one with the 60 HP, right? Just so that you don't get Dusclops, right? And speaking of Dusclops, we have that right here. Its ability, called Curse Blast. Once during your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, right? So, you know, if an opponent evolves, right, then they can just evolve into, you know, if your opponent has that Dusknoir, they can just evolve to Dusclops there, right? And then just knock out your Pidgey. Pardon me. Evolves Duskull to Dusclops and then knock out the Pidgey with Curse Blast, right? And then the Dusknoir there, the improvement of the Dusclops, right, does the same thing, except it's 13 damage counters, right? So, you know, that 13 damage counters, and then the 180 there from the Charizard just straight up, you're hitting basically for, you know, 310. But then, you know, when you knock out the Dusknoir, right, you add an extra 30 to Charizard, which puts it at 210. So that'll basically be 340. And that'll basically be enough to knock anything out. So, but yeah, that's the main part there. That's the stage 2s, right? Yeah, that's kind of how I separated that. And then we're going to go into the support Pokemon. So we got a Fezandipiti, which is cool. It allows you to draw 3 cards with Flip the Script. After a knockout, we've got a Rotom V, which basically, you know, with instant charge, you know, if you can't attack, right, then you can instant charge and draw 3 cards, right? So this card's typically good on the first turn of the game only, and possibly, depending on your setup, it's possibly on that second turn, but anything after that, you're not really going to be using it, so it's a liability. We got a Lumineon V. So Lumineon V there with Luminous Sign allows us to search for any supporter card. We got a Radiant Charizard, right? Our one and only Radiant in the deck that we're allowed. And that's there basically to attack. It's just a single prize beat stick. with Combustion Blast there, having its energy cost reduced by 1 colorless for each prize card your opponent has taken, for a total damage of 250. So it's pretty beefy, I'll say that. And then lastly, we got a Cleffa, you know, for those really bad hands, right? We can just grasping draw, shuffle, and draw 7. So, pardon me, draw cards until you have 7, not shuffle, draw 7. This is not Eek. Pardon me, I keep thinking it's Eek, but it's not Eek. That is the Pokemon, so pretty simple. But now we're going to get into one of my favorite parts, right? Is the trainers, supporters, and stadiums, more specifically supporters. We got 4 Arven, which I really like. That searches out a tool card and an item card. We got 3 Iono. Yeah, 3 Iono. We both shuffle our hands, put them on the bottom of our deck, and then draw, you know, cards from the top of our deck equal to the number of prizes we have left. Double Boss, right? Boss, I love Boss. Boss is one of my favorite cards, my personal favorite cards, right? Any Gus card, right, is just, it's a good card. And it's a good card because it basically can win you the game, you know, with, you know, that automatic effect or a coin flip. Briar, right? You can only use this card if your opponent has exactly 2 prize cards remaining. During this turn, if your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack used by your Terra Pokemon. Oh, pardon me, I'm just a little bit tired. Then you take 1 more prize card, right? So don't forget that Charizard is a Terra there, and it says right below its name. Pardon me, below its HP there, it says it's Terra. So Charizard is the only one that can use that. And I don't think Pidgeot can either. No, Pidgeot can't, and that's basically it. So just Charizard, right? So I thought 1 might be a good inclusion in here. You know, it's really good if you're behind. If you're able to set up that, you know, like they have 2 prizes, you have 3. If you're able to set up that 2 prize KO with the Briar in the same turn, ooh, then that's going to be really good. 1 Roxanne, right? Roxanne's really good, you know, with the low hand sizes, right? You know, put your opponent to a low hand size and try to lock him out of the game. We got a Thornton, right? A Thornton, basically to switch one of our basic Pokemon in play, right? With, you know, one in my discard pile, right? So that's pretty good. That's it for the supporters. No stadiums, right? You can play a couple stadiums in here. You can play 1, 2. I don't think you need more than that, though. You can play 0. I play 0, but I also have a tech for stadiums, which I'll get into in a bit. 4 Buddy Poffin, right? This is what sets up our Duskull, Pidgey, and Charmander. 4 rare candy. You need to be having 4 rare candy in here, right? For that Dusknoir and Pidgeot and Charizard, right? You need to be having 4. Then our last 4 of is 4 Ultra Ball. Discard 2, search for any Pokemon in our deck. Put it into our hand, right? So typically if we have that rare candy in hand, we have that Charizard in hand, we have that Pidgeot in hand, right? You rare candy to Pidgeot, right? Then you search out another rare candy, go to Charizard, now you're down 2 rare candy. We got 3 Nest Ball, right? A little bit more, like I said, more consistency. Get that set up every time. 2 Super Rod, right? Shuffle our Pokemon and energy back into our deck, right? This is really good. 1 Counter Catchee. You know, basically boss is a item card when we're behind on prizes. A 4 Seal Stone attached to a V. Search your deck for any 1 card put into your hand, right? So basically Rotom or Lumineon. Got a Lost Vacuum, right? So this is great against those decks that are running those annoying stadiums, right? And tools. We got a Night Stretcher, right? So a little bit of flexibility there, right? I think this card's really good. I haven't had much time to play with it though. Put a Pokemon or basic energy card from your Discard Pro into your hand, so it's really niche. And then lastly, our ace spec, which is Prime Catcher, right? We want to be able to Prime Catcher and Briar in the same turn on something low HP. And that is it for the trainer cards. So now we're going to get into the energy cards, right? So the energy cards are pretty easy, right? You know, if you don't know what Charizard does, you know, then yeah, you should probably look it up. You should instantly know which energies we need. And note, it's not darkness energy, like you know, because of the type, right? But we do need our fire energies. We got 6, and then our mist energy. Oh, pardon me. Mist energy, which you know, basically prevents Pokemon, like any effects of attacks done to the Pokemon that's attached to. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's yeah, that's Charizard here, right? This is a deck that I just basically keep in my bag from now on. It is basically ready, and haven't had much time testing it because I don't really have much time to play Pokemon anymore. But yeah, it's a good deck, so if anybody wants to play against it in League, you know, I can do my best to operate it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, but yeah, there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, see you in the next video.